A century after the guns fell silent, the echoes of the world wars still resonate, reverberating through the annals of history and the collective memory of humanity. The 20th century bore witness to two devastating global conflicts, World War I and World War II, each leaving an indelible mark on the world. These wars reshaped the geopolitical landscape, leaving millions dead and economies shattered, altering the course of nations and the lives of countless individuals. The causes were complex, a tangled web of nationalism, imperialism, and economic competition, driven by the ambitions and fears of powerful nations. In the aftermath, institutions like the United Nations were formed to prevent future conflicts, aiming to foster peace and cooperation among nations. World War I, sparked by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, saw the Central Powers clash with the Allied powers, engulfing Europe in a devastating conflict. Trenches scarred the battlefields of Europe, a testament to the brutal stalemate of trench warfare, where soldiers endured unimaginable hardships. World War II, ignited by Hitler's ambition, witnessed the horrors of the Holocaust and the dawn of the atomic age, forever changing the nature of warfare. These wars serve as stark reminders of the human cost of conflict, the sacrifices made, and the lives lost. The lessons learned, etched in the memories of those who lived through them, underscore the importance of diplomacy and international cooperation, highlighting the need for dialogue and understanding. As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, the specter of war still looms, reminding us of the fragile nature of peace. The world is a different place, but the potential for conflict remains, driven by new challenges and old rivalries. Understanding the past is crucial to navigating the present and securing a peaceful future, ensuring that the echoes of world wars past guide us towards a more harmonious world. The world in 2025 is a powder keg of geopolitical tensions. Several flashpoints could ignite a global conflict, each with its own unique dynamics. Competition for resources, particularly water and energy, is a growing concern. Climate change exacerbates these tensions, leading to mass displacement and conflict over dwindling resources. Nationalism and populism are on the rise, fueling distrust and animosity between nations. Territorial disputes, often rooted in historical grievances, simmer beneath the surface, threatening to erupt into open conflict. Cyber warfare adds another layer of complexity, with nations engaging in constant digital skirmishes and espionage. The global balance of power is shifting, with new players challenging the existing order. This creates uncertainty and increases the risk of miscalculation. The breakdown of international norms and agreements further erodes trust and makes cooperation more difficult. The world is interconnected, and a spark in one region can quickly escalate into a global conflagration. It is imperative that we address these underlying tensions and work towards peaceful resolutions to prevent a catastrophic war. In a global conflict in 2025, familiar major players would emerge, with some new dynamics and alliances. The United States, with its vast military and economic power, would be central, leveraging its global alliances and bases. China, a rising superpower, would be formidable, with its Belt and Road Initiative expanding influence across continents. Russia, aiming to reassert its influence, would play a significant role with its strategic partnerships and military interventions. The European Union, despite internal divisions, would be a major player due to its economic and political clout. India, with its growing economy and military modernization, would also be key, given its strategic location and influence. Non-state actors would play a significant role, influencing conflicts in ways traditional state actors cannot. Cyber warfare adds a new dimension, with hackers potentially crippling infrastructure and disrupting communications. This complex web of actors would make the conflict unpredictable and potentially devastating, challenging even seasoned strategists. Section 4. The cutting edge of destruction technology on the battlefield. A World War III in 2025 would be fought with technologies unimaginable in previous conflicts. Drones, both armed and for surveillance, would dominate the skies, conducting precision strikes and gathering intelligence. Cyber warfare would be a key component, with nations attempting to cripple each other's infrastructure, disrupt communication networks, and sow discord among populations. Artificial intelligence, or AI, would play a significant role, automating battlefield decisions, analyzing data, and potentially even controlling autonomous weapon systems. Hypersonic missiles capable of traveling at speeds exceeding Mach 5 would render traditional defense systems obsolete. Space would become a new battleground, with satellites vulnerable to attack and potentially used for offensive purposes. Bioweapons, though outlawed by international treaties, represent a terrifying possibility. These weapons could unleash deadly pandemics, potentially killing millions and destabilizing entire regions. The advancements in military technology offer both incredible precision and terrifying destructive potential. The ethical implications of these technologies, particularly autonomous weapon systems and bioweapons, would be hotly debated. The use of such weapons could fundamentally change the nature of warfare, potentially leading to unintended consequences and a new era of global insecurity. Section 5. A World on Fire: Global Impacts of a Third World War. The impact of a global conflict in 2025 would be catastrophic, extending far beyond the battlefield. The sheer scale of destruction would be unprecedented, affecting every corner of the globe. The immediate consequences would be devastating, with millions potentially killed and entire cities reduced to rubble. The global economy would plunge into a deep recession. Markets would crash, businesses would close, and unemployment would skyrocket. Supply chains would be disrupted, leading to shortages of food, medicine, and other essential goods. The environmental impact would be severe, with widespread pollution and potential nuclear fallout. Ecosystems would be destroyed, the social fabric of societies would be torn apart, leading to increased civil unrest and instability. Mass displacement would strain resources and heighten tensions. Refugee camps would become overcrowded. The international order would be shattered, weakening global governance structures. The post-war world would be characterized by instability and the potential for future conflicts. It is our collective responsibility to prevent such a catastrophe and strive for a peaceful and just world. Section 6. The Long Shadow of War: Lasting Consequences and the Need for Peace. The potential consequences of a World War III in 2025 are too dire to ignore. The human cost, the economic devastation, and the environmental damage would leave a scar on the planet for generations. The very fabric of our civilization, built on cooperation and interdependence, would be threatened. The importance of diplomacy, international cooperation, and conflict resolution cannot be overstated. We must prioritize dialogue over aggression, understanding over suspicion, and shared interests over narrow self-interests. The lessons of history, etched in the memories of past conflicts, must guide our actions. Investing in diplomacy, strengthening international institutions, and promoting global citizenship are not merely idealistic pursuits. They are essential for our survival. We have the tools, the knowledge, and the responsibility to prevent another global war. The future is not predetermined. The choices we make today will determine whether the year 2025 marks the beginning of another devastating conflict or a turning point towards a more peaceful and just world. The path to peace is arduous, but the alternative is unthinkable. Let us choose wisely.